So I had thought I'd seen a lot of football movies out there, but looking at this list, there's a lot more than I thought there were, to say the least. So yeah, basically today we're gonna be my rankings of football movies, obviously the most popular football movies. Tier one, we got elite, top of the best of the best, obviously, top of the list, and we got great underneath it. You know, pretty solid, self-explainable first two. At three, we got rewatchable, which they're good, and you know I'll turn them on every now and then. We got not terrible, they're just okay. And we got disappointing. I don't know why that G is down there. I guess there's not enough room. Down here we got kill me, which I don't think there's going to be any here. I mean, it's just movies that I don't like, I guess. And then these are two that were already with. I customized the tier list, but these two were already on here, which is haven't seen and not a football movie. I assume all these are going to be football movies, but I mean, we might not even end up using that tier. I'm going to move this one up. We're going to move haven't seen up and then not a football movie at the bottom. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of these that I haven't seen. And if I haven't seen one, don't shoot me. Just accept me, I guess. Please, I need acceptance. All right, starting off, we got Air Bud. I haven't seen this movie since I was like 6, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna say I haven't seen, just because I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't remember anything about it. I don't remember the premise. Any Given Sunday, I've not seen that one either. It looks like a science picture you'd see in a textbook. You know, the science pictures that got the dude with like his arms out and you can see his penis. Anyways, Brian's song. This one's about I haven't seen. I think we saw this in like 7th, 8th grade. We watched it in class because it's about Brian Piccolo and then Gale Sayers, who's like one of the best Bears running backs of all time. And then like Brian dies of cancer or something. I don't remember too much about it, but I think it was fine. I'm going to say disappointing based on the story, because I know we read the book and then we watched the movie, and I do remember it being one of those first things where I'm like, wow, the book's better than the movie, which a lot of things are like that, but that was, as a young child, it kind of opened my eyes to that. I don't know what this is because the picture's so small I can barely see it, but it doesn't look familiar. I haven't seen it. We're going to skip this one. It looks familiar, but I don't know. Draft Day. I'm gonna say disappointing as well. You know, I'm a huge fan of the draft. Obviously, we're gonna do not terrible. It's tough. Why is that highlighted? It's tough because I mean, you know, I love the NFL draft. So a movie called Draft Day with like actual NFL teams, my expectations are so high. But I know that the acting was really bad. I'm gonna go disappointing. Yeah, I watched it maybe twice. I watched it once a while ago, and then I watched it again not too long ago, and the acting's really bad. The storyline's good, but just the acting's bad. Like the main dude's all right, but the lady, not a good actor. Facing the Giants, I haven't seen that one either. Friday Night Lights, okay, that's a tough one. It's really tough because I mean, the only thing I don't like about that one is that there's so many characters that are like the main character. I'm gonna go great. I think if it was more focused on one player, it'd be elite. But it's just hard watching it for the first time to be like to remember who all the people are. So I'm gonna go great. It's got a great story to it. I love it. When the Game Stands Tall. I haven't seen that one either. Greater, have not seen that. This one with Dwayne Johnson. I've been meaning to see it, but I have not seen it. Gus. It doesn't look like a football movie. I'm gonna put it there. I don't know what this is. Invincible. There's so many. I feel like an idiot since I haven't seen like any of these. Doesn't look familiar. Haven't seen it. We're gonna move this down so it's easier to drag. That doesn't look like a football movie. We're gonna put it there. I mean, that looks like a football movie. Haven't seen it. Leatherheads. Haven't seen it. I don't know what this is, but it looks like a football movie. This looks like a new Men in Black trailer on like a really low budget. Lucas, have not seen it. I can't read that. Does not look familiar. This might be a really quick video. There's so many that I haven't seen. Little Giants, here we go. Very nostalgic. Always fun to watch as a kid. We're gonna See, it's not terrible, but I wouldn't rewatch it just because. Well, I'll put rewatchable just because this is a movie that my kids are gonna watch in the future, right? You know, kind of introduce them to football. So it's not terrible. It's very nostalgic. This unnecessary roughness of football with sunglasses, bullhorns, and a cowboy hat. It looks cheesy, but I bet it's really good. But I've not seen it or heard of it. Radio, never seen it. Remember the Titans. I'm not putting it in disappointing. Elite. Top 2 for me football movies of all time. Top 3 movies of all time. That is also rewatchable, but Elite. Anything above rewatchable is also rewatchable. But Remember the Titans, such a good movie. You know, one of those. It takes place. If you haven't seen Remember the Titans, I hadn't seen it for a long time. I didn't start watching it until I didn't watch it until about a year ago. Believe it or not. Yeah, I was like a year ago. I wasn't a senior in football yet, so a junior in football. I love all these things football. Never seen Remember the Titans. Like, what am I doing? And I watched it. Unbelievable, blew me away. The storyline's amazing. If you haven't seen it, basically it's like it's a school like combining, it's the first non-segregated school pretty much, and they allow both groups of people to be able to play on the same football team, and they're very hostile with each other at first, obviously, based on the time, the culture, and all that. But over time, they start to play more of a team as a team. And the coach really just, gets them to like click, and like the two main guys hate each other at the beginning of the movie. They get in a fight and whatever. And then by the end of the movie, they're best friends. The town is not being racist anymore. Like, it's a great movie with a great message. And I mean, I think society nowadays that meme I saw it a while ago. Society needs to rewatch this movie. That is very true. I'll just say that. Rudy. Not a lot of people have seen Rudy, and I'm going to put it in Elite as well. I'm going to knock it down one just because there's not a lot of football in it, which the whole story is that, he's one of the best athletes to come out of his high school, right? It's star on the football team. Can't get into college, grades, doesn't get a scholarship because he's not phenomenal, and so he goes to a community college, doesn't play football there, gets his grades up, starts working and all that, then gets accepted to Notre Dame and spends like 3 years just on the practice squad or like the practice team, doesn't ever dress out, and he's working, he's doing all these things, and he just never gets playing time. And by the end of the movie, the last game of the season, for like the last 5 seconds, they put him in, and he gets a sack. And I mean, that's where the movie ends, but it's a great story. I only knock it down because there's not a lot of football in it, but it is such a good movie. I love it. Safety, never seen it. I don't know what this is. That does not look like a football picture. The Best Times, never seen that one. Blindside. There's been a lot of controversy to come out recently with this movie and the people in it. The movie itself was really good. My favorite, so I've seen this movie several times, and the part where like the main character, like, I can't remember what is his name. I can't remember any names. I'm really bad with names in movies. I'm good with names in real life, just not in movies. And so like the main guy, this guy in the picture, he joins this family. Like, they bring him in, adopt him, and he plays football. But like the main lady's son, who's like little bitty, it was so funny because there's a picture of this big old guy sitting down with the son who's little bitty. They're sitting down at a table, right? And it just looks like so big, so little. And when Zach Wilson got drafted in 2021, one of the first memes was a picture of these two, and it said like Mekhi Becton with Zach Wilson in the cafeteria. I still think about that. It was so funny to me. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It was just so funny. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen it. Haven't seen it. I've not seen it. I've not seen the original Longest Yard. This video is going to be really short, honestly. I've seen most of these, though, towards the end. I've not seen the original Longest Yard, but judging by the picture, is this guy like the coach? Like, does he do a cameo in the Adam Sandler one? I do not know. I might have to Google that after. But Longest Yard, it is funny. It's good. It's got a decent message, I guess. Obviously, prisoners playing the guards. It's rewatchable. It's funny. It's Adam Sandler, so you expect it to be like immature and whatever, but it's actually really solid. Um, yeah, it takes a while for it to get good. They kill off Chris Rock. Why? Like, if you haven't seen it, my bad, but it's been out for a long time. So if you're watching this video, you've probably seen The Longest Yard. But they end up killing off Chris Rock. Like, what are you doing? Made me sad. I've not seen this one with Ice Cube, but I've been meaning to watch it too. The Long Shots, yeah. I've been meaning to watch it. Haven't got to it. Have not seen this one. The Replacements. This one's actually really good. I haven't seen it in a while. It's got Keanu Reeves. Yeah, it is Keanu Reeves, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Because it looks like him. I can't remember if it was or wasn't Keanu Reeves. No, not The Longest Yard. The Replacements. All right, it autofilled that, so I think it's listening to me. But yeah, it is Keanu Reeves. Okay. I swear my phone listens to me. But yeah, it's a really good movie. I'm not going to put it in great. I'll put it in rewatchable because it's not on the same tier as Rudy or Friday Night Lights, but I'd say it's on the same tier as Longest Yard, Blindside, Little Giants. It's a good movie. Basically, it's like the NFL is going on strike, and so they have a whole team of different, like, not good players, and then they end up, like, winning or whatever. The Water Boy. This one, I am going to put this in great. No, I'm going to put it in elite. The Water Boy is such a good movie. Not just because it's Adam Sandler, but, like, the whole thing around it. It's funny. It's got a good, like, story to it. It's not, like, too funny, if that makes sense. Like, it's not so funny that you can't take it seriously, but it's funny enough to where, you smile and laugh a little bit while you watch it. Like most Adam Sandler movies are just immature and just dumb, but they're still funny. But The Waterboy and The Longest Yard are good movies, but The Waterboy is so good. Yeah, Mama says football was the devil. Touchback, never seen it. Never seen this one. Varsity Blues. Hot take. Varsity Blues is elite. That is my number 2 football movie of all time, right behind Remember the Titans. I watch this movie like once a month. It is so funny. It's got a great story, but I think the first time I watched it, like, you just know that Lance Harper is going to get hurt because they're showing him off. The main character's the backup. Like, you already know it's going to happen. But Billy Bob, it's so funny. Like, there's so many quotable moments in it. Whipped cream bikini. Puke and Rally, that's one of my favorites. And then Lance Harper. Yeah, so kind of embarrassing. I saw Varsity Blues before I saw any of the Fast and Furious movies. So, when people see Paul Walker, they think of, Brian. What is Brian's last name? From Fast and Furious. You think of him as Brian. I can't remember his last name, but you think of him as Brian from the Fast and Furious movies because, you probably saw those first. And when you see Lance Harper, if you've seen Varsity Blues after Fast and Furious, you see Lance Harper and you're like, oh, look, it's Brian from Fast and Furious. But I saw Varsity Blues before I saw Fast and Furious. So I see Brian, I'm like, oh, it's Lance Harper. Rest in peace, Paul Walker. But there's so many I haven't seen. I'm going to just binge watch all these tonight. I don't know this one. What is this one? Is that... It looks like Will Smith, but I don't want to be racist, so I'm just going to say I haven't seen it. We Are Marshall. This is tough. There's not really any of these. I'm going to put Brian's song in Not Terrible. Just to put it there, I guess. See, We Are Marshall's tough for me because I want it to be elite, but there can only be so many in elite. Shit. Because, like, it's so good. There's not a lot of people that have seen We Are Marshall, but basically, the Marshall University, it's actually the college Randy Moss went to, fun fact, but Marshall University back in, I want to say the early 70s, maybe late 60s, their airplane, they're leaving like a game, they're returning home, and their airplane crashes, like it's struck by lightning and it crashes, kills like the whole team, like nobody survived, kills the whole team, most of the coaching staff. No, the whole coaching staff and most of the team. A few players survived. One of them is Papa Doc from 8 Mile, and the Falcon from the Avengers or whatever. But only a few players survived because they didn't go on the plane. Kills off like the whole coaching staff, all the sponsors, the athletic director, all that kind of stuff. And so they rehire, they cancel the rest of the season, and then they plan on canceling the next year, but they get a head coach. They get one of the recruiters to come back and help with their recruiting. Let's see. And then they're pushing. This is actually how one of the biggest reasons why freshmen are allowed to start as a freshman in today's college football, because they didn't have any older players because they were all dead. So they recruited a bunch of freshmen straight out of high school, and at the time, freshmen weren't allowed to start as a true freshman in college. So the department director of the sporting stuff, I don't know, he was just one of the Marshall important people, and he went to the NCAA board, sent them letters and whatever for weeks, never got a reply. He ended up going to them, and they finally allowed them to play freshmen in college, so that way they could actually have a season. And it's a great story. It's about like a whole town unifying around a cause, and it's really great to see. I'm gonna put it in elite. I don't want to put too many in elite, but I think We Are Marshall is definitely an underrated movie that not a lot of people have seen. Same with Rudy, but We Are Marshall's got such a good story. This guy's a really big actor. If you've seen Wolf of Wall Street, he's that guy. But yeah, it's disappointing that I haven't seen a lot of these movies. Like any of these, I've not seen. Is that Tom Cruise? It looks like Tom Cruise. But I mean, this one I need to watch. I need to watch the one with Dwayne Johnson. When the Game Stands Tall, I need to watch that one. Yeah, there's a lot of these that I've not seen. So if there's any of these that I haven't seen that are great movies, just let me know. Like if you've seen them and I haven't. There's one like I just can't read it. Like this one, I can't read that. It looks like it says Dallas Poetry. It looks like it says Poetry, P-O. Or it looks like it says 40. I don't know. I can't read apparently. I'm illiterate. That's why I do YouTube. So yeah, it's really surprising that I've only seen these amount of movies compared to these. But yeah, if there's any of these that you guys have seen that I haven't, that are really good, just let me know. I'm gonna get to these, and maybe in a couple years I'll re-rank all these. So that's gonna do it for this video. Just doing a kind of fun one, stepping away from the mock drafts and the film breakdowns. I will have a film breakdown out again soon. Not sure who yet, and if you guys want to see, suggest a film breakdown, just let me know. Any videos you want to see, let me know. Just leave it in the comments. And if you like the video, subscribe, comment, leave some support. I would appreciate it greatly. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video.